Hi, it's Calder here from Singing Matters. Thanks for joining me once again with more discussions about the voice and singing from someone who learnt the hard way by singing so badly for so long that I ended up needing an operation for a cyst on one of my vocal cords. This is everything I've learned along the way and what I've tried to help with other students with. And today's discussion is something I say to students all the time, so I thought I'd do a video about it. It's not your voice. It's the voice. It's the voice. It's not yours. It's the human voice, right? I always labour my points. I'm probably so annoying to some people. Some people have connected well to how I explain things, but I really want you to take this idea. It's not you, right? It's not you, it's me. It's not you. It's not your voice specific to you. It's the human voice specific to humans, right? All of us. We all have the same mechanism. Let's just do away with voice classifications for a minute. Let's just kind of put to one side different timbre and different things, sounds that people have in their voices, and and just try and understand that everyone's dealing with the same mechanism. And it's the human voice. It's not you. And there's so many times where students go, oh, I'm not sure my voice has got this. I'm not sure my voice this, my voice that. I can't really do that. People come in and tell me I can't do that. I'm like, well, yes, you can. Sorry to break it to you. I know you're happy in your illusion that you're incapable, but I'm going to tell you you are capable. Just takes a hell of a lot of working through the mechanics and fixing the issues that come up completely naturally, because the voice is a part of us that we can't necessarily control until we completely train ourselves to do so. It's very attached to lots of survival mechanisms and instinctive, reflexive parts of our body. It's very hard to control, but we have to believe that you can do it. And you can get there. And it's not that you can't sing high notes, like guys want to convince themselves that they don't have high notes. Yes, you do. Of course you do. You're a human. You just have trouble accessing them, and you're not quite sure how to do it because you use it so rarely in your day-to-day life that you don't know where it is. You don't know where it is. So what comes with it is all this tension. Okay. My voice won't do this. I don't think I have the right voice type. I don't think my voice, me. I don't think I can. I don't think my voice, blah, 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 blah. No. Don't ask questions like, is my voice not able to sing high notes? Or maybe I just don't have a powerful voice. I want to do away with some of these myths, and I want you to watch out for that language creeping in. It'll feel like you can't do it. It will 100% feel like you can't do it. Other people, they're doing it. It looks so easy. Why can't I do it? I understand you wanting to ask that question, but don't come to the conclusion that your voice isn't able to. There will be some ends of the spectrum where you can't reach the lowest notes, or you can't necessarily comfortably get some of the highest notes that some people make look so easy. There might be certain parts of your voice going back to timbre and style and just general sound and tone that you are working within the parameters of your timbre. You're working within the parameters of your voice. But that doesn't stop you from doing a whole host of things that singers do. The only thing that stops that is the mechanics and the technique. That you can still do all of this within your sound. So again, just trying to do away with the myth that it's not something your voice can do. Your voice has a certain amount of range that everyone can achieve if they just get out of the way of it and get the tension out of the way and whatever else is going on, usually those sorts of problems. You can find a powerful sound if you train your voice to do it instead of flipping into falsetto. It doesn't mean you're incapable of doing it. It just takes some real work to get there. It can be really hard to get there. Okay, so you get my point. This is about removing the personal. It's not about you. It's just the human voice that we all struggle with. Some people find it easier. You could call that talent. I don't like the word talent. But some people do naturally find their way through their voice quite easily without too much trouble, and they instinctively kind of recognize when it's going to strain or hurt. They instinctively seem to have a good ear for what they notice happening on record, and they translate that better. They somehow translate, they can't be shouting as much as it sounds like they are, and they use their voice effectively, and they kind of get that right. I think some people just picked up on that better than others. I wasn't one of those. I shouted and screamed at people until I hurt my voice. Okay, so many singers are convinced that it's their voice and that's how they are and that's how their voice will always be. You either have a voice or you don't. I can't stand this sort of thing. Our culture perpetuates this notion. Friends and family will assume you just don't have the voice for it. You don't have this or you don't have that. Please, as a singer, don't listen to uninformed people who usually often are just embarrassed on your behalf. They're kind of embarrassed that you dare to do it. So they tell you haven't got it. Oh, you can't do that. You haven't got that. Are you sure you know, you're developing it. You're training it. You are training your voice like many famous singers have had to do privately before they became famous and everyone thought they were just godlike creatures who were cast down from heaven able to do it like that. It's not how it is it? Some people do find it easier, let's be honest, but that doesn't mean that you have to really beat yourself up that you're not talented or you're not this or you're not the other. The hard work to get there is very rewarding. So try not to listen to people. They're just kind of embarrassed on your behalf. They get really uneasy that you dare to express yourself because it takes so much bottle to express yourself in that way with your voice that other people are scared for you. So try not to listen to them. They will make you think your voice is written in stone and it will never change. They think, dare I say it, that you're not talented enough. Drives me up the wall. You haven't got the talent or whatever. You're not talented. I hate the idea that everything is supposed to be natural, innate. It's not. We have to develop what we have naturally and innately. If we have something, physical attributes that give us a certain sound to our voice, that doesn't mean we're going to be a great singer. If we use our voice technically quite well, where we have no trouble going through our bridge or going through the registers, but we're absolutely scared stiff of the idea of anyone hearing our voice and actually singing is not something we want to do, then you're not going to be a singer. You know, it takes a lot of pieces of the puzzle to become a singer, and that confidence, that feeling like it's your right to do it, and that belief is a huge part of it, regardless of how difficult it is to actually get the results you want yet. So believe in yourself and believe in a process. And try not to get stuck in the idea that your voice is not capable of certain things, because that's just not true. That doesn't mean you can sound like anyone out there necessarily, right? You can't necessarily just sound like everyone, but it does mean that the voice is an instrument that, given enough time and attention to detail, you can learn how to control and manipulate it in such a way that would frankly amaze you right now. And if I look back to the times where I struggled, and I look back at how easy I can make singing feel now, it's just night and day. I was going for these things that I was trying to achieve. Now I can do them with ease. And it's just that I got all this out of the way. And I've never been the most rehearsed, disciplined, practiced musician out there. Let me be honest with you. I didn't do any of it properly. I look back now and wish I had the discipline. I might have got somewhere in life. I wish I had some discipline in different ways that I didn't have. I had a lot of drive and ambition, but I didn't have the discipline to back it up. But one thing I did do is I fixed my voice. Like, I never mastered anything. I never stuck with my drum lessons. I was a drummer originally. I did everything how I wanted to do it. I was a typical one of those. Didn't want to learn from written notation. I just wanted to play. Thought I was cool. Quit my college course when I was 17 because I thought I was too cool. You know, idiot. Like, I'm an idiot. I think it's different with the voice. But I never learned anything properly. One thing I did do is fix my voice. One thing I did do is work out how to unpick all that strain and all that tension that I was having. And it's about the only thing I've really stuck to so much that I actually cracked it. Nothing else have I really ever kind of been so dedicated to as a musician. So wherever your voice is right now, it's not what you're stuck with. You can develop it. Okay, you can train it. You can. Okay, in the name of balance and truth, of course you are limited to certain aspects of your singing voice. You have a certain timbre, which is a combination of bone structure, the shape and thickness of your skull, the various chambers inside your head and throat, the vocal cords themselves, and the exact shaping of the cartilage in the larynx. Everything, all this part of you is what gives you your sound. And that will always have its limitations and be restricted by certain natural characteristics. But within that sound is a whole range of different approaches and manipulations that you can do. So you're restricted to a certain extent, but you can learn how to make your tone sound better. You can learn how to shape things a bit nicer. You can learn how to sing more powerfully. You can learn how to sing more delicately, and you can learn how to sing more powerfully whilst being delicate to the chords. Yeah. I mean, most people don't understand the tension that they're experiencing and how bad it actually is. They just don't. I know, and I know this because I'm one of them. And now I'm like this frustrated coach really wanting people to take it on. I really desperately want my students to get there. And I get frustrated when I have someone who has been with me for a while and then I realise they haven't actually got anywhere here with this tension. It's just right back where it was. It's crept back in. It sneaks up on you. You can fix it for 5 minutes, think you've got somewhere, and then before you know it, it's back because that 5 minutes was never enough. I'm just really passionate about helping people because I know how much difference you can get from it and how different it can feel, and I want people to experience that. Okay. Some people struggle not to flip into a falsetto when they reach their bridge. That doesn't mean that you can only ever sing in falsetto and never will be able to find a belt or a mix or a stronger vocal setup for more powerful and credible delivery. It doesn't mean you can't do that. You just have to take the time to learn your voice so you can start to control the right things and build a muscle memory of habits that allows you to sing that way. It takes time. It can be very annoying and frustrating, infuriating, in fact, and depressing even, really, honestly. And you try and brush it off and carry on, but it can really get you down. I know what it was like. But it's in these moments I want you to watch the language you use. Try not to fall into the idea of me this, my voice that, I can't do this and I can't do that. As I said at the start, stop personalising it when you're going through this process. Try to remember that the voice is a mechanism we all have and it's all the same for everyone. Sure, some people break a little lower down. Does this mean their voice is completely different mechanically to the rest of the human race? I don't think so. It just means that it has a longer vocal tract, a bigger apparatus, and the break occurs a few pitches lower than it does for other people. The navigation of your bridge is the same issue everyone has. I want you to watch out for the language you use when frustrations are high. So watch out what you say to yourself when frustrations are high. It may feel completely hopeless, but I want you to believe that you can fix these problems that just hamper your experience when you're singing. When you're feeling demoralized, remember that many singers have gone through pretty drastic vocal transformation and development and turned their voice into something captivating and engaging, free-sounding, the freedom you can tell is there in someone's voice, and that expressive ability they have to use dynamics with the whole range readily accessible the whole time, anything they want. When they used to have a clunky, awkward, strained and unpredictable voice where they couldn't trust certain areas of their range and never sounded as believable as they dreamed of, never sounded as authentic as they wanted to, because of these problems, you can overcome it. You can overcome these things, and I want you to believe it. I did it, and I look back, I don't know, when you've ingrained so much muscle memory in one direction, it's so hard to break it down. It's so hard to fix it. It takes a lot of attention to detail, and I'm really pleased that I actually persevered, because I look back and it seemed hopeless at times. There are always things going on in our singing technique that we haven't noticed yet or completely fixed yet. Try not to be disheartened, although scrap that, you will be, and maybe you should be, but maybe that's your clue to dive deeper and look at the details more. Get more analytical, get more precise, get more detailed, get more investigative with your technique and habits, get more investigative with the sensations of singing. A lot of sensations that occur are just, I'm singing, this is what it feels like. No, there are a range of those sensations that are pure tension, pure bad, getting in the way, gripping on the voice, hampering it, stopping it from feeling free. And you need to recognize the difference between those sensations and when it's free. And you just don't know what you don't know because you're so used to it. You are used to what it feels like. It always feels the same. And therefore, you don't do anything about it because that's just what singing feels like. You're not even aware that it feels bad, but it's quite subtle. A subtle sensation to you is a really damaging effect on the chords and on the voice. So it might not feel like very much. It's not pain. You're not in pain, so you don't feel like, no, it doesn't hurt. And I've had people say, no, it doesn't hurt. It feels fine. And I'm like, I can see what you're doing, and I can hear it, and I know what that feels like. And you're so used to that feeling, you don't realize that it's bad. And I want you to ask yourself that. Am I so used to this tension that I just keep trying to go with it? Like, analyze deeper the sensations and everything that's going on, every detail. You will find yourself trying to hit a note. Everything's fine here. Soon as you rise up a little bit more, your larynx go up, the swallowing muscles squeeze, everything just clamps on the voice instantaneously. It can't wait to do it. It can't wait to do it when it gets to that pitch. It's like, oh, I'm going to do it. There we are. And you don't even notice. And I want you to notice. I want you to look in the mirror. I want you to record yourself and go, oh, God, look at that. As soon as you hit that pitch, this is why exercises matter. This is why exercises have so much use, because you're training every single note, every single part of your range meticulously. Ask yourself, what exactly happens when you sing? If you go to sing and you stop before you hit the note, what did your body just do? Ask yourself, like, if you don't analyze these details and if you just sit there, I'm angry, I'm telling you off. This is what I'm like. I'm telling you off. If you sit there, pick up your guitar and just start singing, or whatever it is that you do, without giving it any thought whatsoever, well, I don't know. You're not working on it. You're thinking you're working on it because you've got stuff in your head about technique, but you're not really working on it. You're working on it when you hone in on every single detail of one note, on one vowel. What's happening when I try and hit that note? What exactly does my body do to set itself up to sing? That's what I want you to ask yourself. As I go to sing, oh yeah, that happens in my neck. I'm just taking that for granted that that's what happens when you sing. No, that doesn't need to happen. That doesn't need to happen. In fact, that needs not to happen. In fact, all of your effort needs to be focused on not letting that happen, the squeeze. If that happens in your throat and your neck as you go to sing, whoa, stop. This is what I mean. Try to sing a note. Before you sing it, what does your body do? What do you feel? Everywhere, everywhere. You might just be so used to these things that you just let it go. And it's like, hang on, that's tension. Right? So watch what happens and feel what happens. Okay. And we're talking your whole body as well, your abdomen, your stomach, the breathing support mechanism, muscles, what's happening there? What's happening in the breath? Okay. What's happening inside the mouth? Are you lazily not doing anything to help shape the sound in there? Are you not lifting the soft palate and creating a resonant chamber for it to live in? Lazy, flat, squashed, not pleasant. Or are you trying to sing where you're creating something for it to live in? Make it a resonant chamber to give it a full warm sound. All the squeezing and tension clearly goes against that. So we've got to create an open throat and an open mouth. Watch for what you see. Can you see the larynx rising? Can you see the swallowing muscles engaging? Can you see your neck squeezing inwards and everything inside doing its best to strangle you when you go for a relatively high note? Not even high as well, it will happen. You have to look at other singers and think, what are they doing? Why is it looking so easy? It's not that your voice can't do it. It's that you're dealing with some of the most reflexive and instinctive parts of the body whose main purpose is survival and protection of the airway. It takes a hell of a lot of effort to overcome millions of years of evolution to isolate and then control these parts of ourselves. Give yourself some credit, for God's sake. Put it in perspective and understand that you are dealing with the most instinctive part of yourself that just goes like that to protect you, goes like that to stop food going down the airway. You try and use that part of your brain, and these instinctive mechanisms are just going to, your brain doesn't know how else to go. I'm just going to grab, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. It's really a lot of effort to train it out of that habit. That is what you're working with. Your singing can be absolutely fine if it isn't for these parts of yourself feeling that they need to be involved. They just grab because you're trying to do something in this area of your body, and the brain's not isolated the difference between those parts yet. So it just, all of them get involved, and they don't need to be involved in singing. They need to get out of the way. In fact, they need to completely get out of the way. Not just relax, but actually, properly get out of the way. Make it open. Give it a space. You can have chords in the middle of this open space. I want you to think of an open space with the chords just coming together in the middle of them. Not strangled, squeezed, but there's an open space and the chords are just nicely sitting in there. In an open space. I'm only just doing a really light little thing, vocalising there. How much more relaxed is it when you're in a comfortable range, lower down, for example? So feel what your voice feels like lower down. What changes as you go higher? What can you see and what can you feel? As you rise up, that squeeze will just happen. You've got to catch it in the act and where it is in your range that it happens, and then address that part of your range, and then address one note higher, and then address one note higher, and then you can crack it, and then the next day it's back again, and you have to do it again. You have to do it again. You never cracked it once. It's a moving target. It's always changing, and these instincts aren't going away quickly just because you've got it right once. It's a hard, long road, but I'm trying to tell you what I've learned along the way, and I really want people to take it on. I love seeing people make progress. I genuinely do. Like I notice that. I'm not just saying it, but I get a real kick out of it when people make progress, and I've had a couple of people do so recently. I've got some students that have been with me a year, and it's really slow going, but they're getting there. So think about it like this. You will be used to certain sensations when you sing, but you may not be noticing them. You will get to a certain pitch, and all of a sudden, everything in your throat wants to grab. It wants to rise up, and it wants to strangle. That note there, like I just said, that's the one you must focus on. Not all the one just below it to give yourself an easier chance. You have to take the time to train the muscles around the voice not to make that action. It's funny how I go off my scripts. I don't usually do scripted videos, but I just wrote down a load of stuff, and I keep going off script, saying exactly what's in the next paragraph. It's funny that. You have to take the time to train the muscles around the voice not to make that action. They are not part of the voice. They're just very closely attached to it. They're not supposed to be involved in creating sound, but they get involved. So it's recognizing that. And I can help you with this stuff, of course. This is what I help people with. It's really understanding the mechanics of your body. It's not sexy. It's not fun. It's hard toil, and it's kind of boring. It's weird. You have to laugh at yourself because you make stupid noises. You have to play around with things. The more you're willing to do this stuff, if you really want to crack it, this is where to go. And it's not fun. It's not sexy. It doesn't sound cool. But if you want to fix it, you got to go there. You got to ask yourself how much you want to fix it. Do I just want to keep picking up my guitar and singing a song badly or struggling? No, you want to fix it. You want to fix it. Believe that you can and work on these things. So, yeah, all of this needs to be removed and taught to relax, to keep out of the way, all of this squeezing, but it will always be hampered by poor breath control as well. So you're asking yourself how much air is escaping when I sing through one phrase. If you sing one short line, are you aware of the breath rapidly exhaling during the line? And I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm singing and I'm out. That is pushing a lot of air against the chords, which wears them down, dries them out, makes them feel strained, makes them feel horrible. You're then going to be gripping with the extrinsic muscles again because you're trying to control too much air. We need to get the air out of the way to allow the relaxed feel. Okay. So you may be pushing way too much air, or your chords may be so loose that you're letting too much air flow out. Try to work it out. you've got to ask yourself these questions. How does a singer hold a note for ages? Well, they're not letting any air out, really, a tiny bit. They're letting the minimal amount of air they possibly can out so they can sing through long phrases comfortably with plenty left in the tank. Whatever you have to do to break these things down, it's worth it. But please, please, please don't write yourself off. Don't write yourself off as if your voice is different to everyone else's, or your voice is just different to the people you want to sound like. It's not. It's just that there's some mechanics getting in the way. That said, to finish off, there are always certain personality factors that come into play. Sometimes people have strain and tension because they are quite used to using their spoken voice in a tense and emotionally charged manner. It's true. Sometimes people are so inherently soft and gentle that they struggle to connect the chords fully. They struggle to engage and sound powerful because it's not something they're used to doing. They're a bit scared of sounding loud, really. Sometimes people's unassuming nature is an obstacle as a performer. It takes many things to come together to create the perfect singer. So break down exactly what's going on by using videos like mine and other coaches online or anywhere. Get one-to-one advice. Come to me for lessons. Come to me for my Patreon and get free advice. Send me videos. That's what I do on my Patreon. I get people to send me videos. I give them the video back with some feedback and some ideas and some exercises and things like that. And it's like, it's kind of the in between watching someone online and learning there and having one-to-one lessons. It's kind of the bridge between. But obviously I'm available for online lessons as well. The voice will always be a tricky beast, but try not to allow yourself to imagine that it's just your voice. It's not. It's the voice. It's the human voice. It's everyone's voice. Some people, through a combination of character traits and personality, instinct and feel, and a better ear for what established singers are actually doing, perhaps, somehow find a relaxed approach from the start, and they find balance quite easy. But lucky them. You may call this talent. It doesn't mean you can't achieve it. And then you could call yourself talented because no one knows the work you did behind closed doors to sound like that unless they live with you, and let them hear it, for God's sake. Absolutely the best of luck with your singing. I hope that makes sense today. I hope it's a bit of encouragement, really. If you want one-to-one feedback from your practice or live video clips, just get in touch with me on my Patreon. There'll be a link in the description. And join me on there or join me for lessons online. And good luck. I hope that helped today. I'll see you next time.